Today our guest on Let's Talk is Jeremy Wooldridge, and Jeremy is the new director of CRDC.
Yes, sir.
Jeremy, welcome to Let's Talk, and tell us what CRDC stands for.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to visit with you. CRDC is Crowley's Ridge Development Council, and we are headquartered here in Jonesboro. We're an 8-county nonprofit community action agency, and we serve from Greene County down to Woodruff County, from Jackson County all the way over to Crittenden County.
And CRDC is one of the more significant nonprofits in our area, and yet it's not always well known, and that's because it's nonprofit. But
yes,
Jeremy, tell us a little bit about your services and who you serve and how you do it.
Sure. CRDC, you're right, is probably one of the best kept secrets in this 8-county region. We are a regional nonprofit, and we were born, out of the war on poverty in 1964, and we are basically tasked with moving that poverty needle. We're wanting to move folks out of poverty, and we administer the Community Services Block Grant, and that is funds that we utilize to help people in an emergency situation. We also have LIHEAP, which is the Energy Assistance Program, and that basically allows us some utilities, some rent assistance, and some different things like that in our service area.
Who qualifies for this, and how do they find you?
Obviously, it's a low-income community, so we have certain policies and manuals that we follow. It's state administered, so we're monitored by the Department of Human Services, and they have to meet that poverty threshold in our community to be eligible for services. That's all part of the form and application process that they fill out.
Right. Are there other ways for you to find these people, or do they have to find you?
Well, they in essence have to find us, and that's kind of goes back to what we said about CRDC being a secret or a kept secret. That's not intentional. Obviously, we do our best to market that in all of our communities. We have Facebook, so please, like us on Facebook, follow CRDC's Facebook page. We have a website where we post all of these programs that we're running. We have a start date that is usually posted on them, an end date. We do a winter session, a summer session, and then we also do a crisis for energy assistance. So there are all kinds of opportunities there for us to help folks.
Tell me now, you told me you've been there almost 2 months.
Yes, sir.
So you're still fresh.
Brand new.
Tell us a little bit about your background and,
sure.
and what got you here.
Sure. I have a background in mental health. I've spent the last 13, years at Families Inc. Worked for their Paragould office, Greene County, Clay County, was a supervisor for the company, and had an opportunity to move to CRDC when the previous director left. And the way that I would equate that is Families Inc., they're good at what they do, but they're kind of a single point plow, and they have one lane that they have to stay in, and CRDC allows the opportunity to help with so many different avenues in such a lot bigger service area. I just saw that as an opportunity, not only for growth, but just to kind of further the commitment that I've made to serve our communities and to help people.
Yeah, one thing that we see in Jonesboro is more homeless on the street.
Yes.
Is this something that I'm sure you're aware of it,
sure.
but what type of services can you do for them, and what are your thoughts on what's happening these
sure.
days?
It has been a big need for the Jonesboro community, and that's a challenge for CRDC, is to think regionally, and that's what we try to do in the office. We try to think of not only the need for Jonesboro, but for all the communities that we serve, and we look, oftentimes those needs are different in different places, but in Jonesboro that has been a big need. We currently have a program, and we have helped several residents in Craighead County and some of our other counties. We have a rental assistance program, and then we have some funds available that we can take a person who qualifies, a homeless person, and the definition of homelessness there may be a family that is living with another family. They may not actually be on the street or in an impoverished situation like you would think when you think homelessness. But we can take that person, we can stabilize them in an apartment, we can help them with a down payment, with some rent, some utilities for a period of time to help get them back on their feet.
Well, homelessness is, and I've learned in my role with the city over the last 5 years, that homelessness is a very complex issue.
It is.
And not to diminish in fact, I've been over to the Salvation Army, and we've seen families praying together. This is a incredibly stressful moment in their lives, and but for others, it's I dare say, a life option. You know, there's the pressures of living in society, and then there are those who sometimes choose to live outside society with those type of pressures.
That's right.
And so, what have you learned anything about, you know, the actual people that need service, and those who are just choosing to live a lifestyle that most of us feel like is brought on by poverty?
Sure. And that's a very good point. You know, the thing that we are here to do and the thing that we're tasked to do is move those from poverty, but we want to offer that service for those who want it. We want to create within this person, or within each of these persons, the desire to improve their quality of life. That standard is different for everyone. That standard is different for you and I, and that standard would be different for the clients that we serve. So we want to help everyone be the best version of themselves, and whatever that version they decide that is.
That's right. So now, if CRDC, are you coming into funding that you have to decide what to use, how to use right now?
Yes, of course, we have current programs that are established. So we have not, obviously, in my short time with the agency, looked at adding additional programs or funding currently. That's something we're always looking at, and you know, to meet the needs of our communities. If we see something for Crittenden County or Woodruff or Cross that is specific to there, and there's a program for that, CRDC functions on sustainable revenue, and we have to look at those programs that the state or the federal government allow us to administer, and then we're obviously looking at adding anything we can add to be helpful for the counties that we've partnered with.
And absolutely, and obviously the finances that I refer to are stimulus or recovery money from the pandemic. But
Sure.
but you operate on a lot of government funds that come. How do you obtain your financial resources?
Well, most of them are through these programs. So like we have a prevention program, and we currently, that is outside of our 8-county service area. Our 8 counties is defined by where we can utilize our CSBG and our LIHEAP programs. But we have a prevention program that, you know, they have Stone, Cleburne. They're in multiple counties, so it's a lot bigger service area than just the 8 counties. Transportation food programs, those are also outside of that 8-county service area. We have a weatherization program. That weatherization program spans over a large part of the 1st Congressional District in the Delta. So each of those programs have their own set of funds that are allocated by the state, and then obviously they pay us an administrating fee that we can use to pay our staff to provide the service.
Well, before we wrap up, I want to talk about a couple of those programs and break it down for us. Weatherization, I assume, means home repairs and that sort of thing.
It can mean a lot of different things. So we have a weatherization program. It's an excellent program. It's been a leader in the state. We will take software into the home and run all kinds of tests. We have a person on site that inspects the home, does a pre-inspection. We utilize this software, and it tells the weatherization needs in the home, whether that may be where there are air leaks, different things like that. And then we will put that into a program. Our guys will subcontract and go in and do that work to improve the efficiency of the home overall. So it not only increases the value of the home, but it decreases the expense of, you know, utilities and those type of things as well. So it's a win-win for the family living in the home.
And you know, Jeremy, times are changing, and as an older man, I've seen the world change through the years, and you have these concepts of how poverty happens and why it's going on. Can you talk about where we are right now? You know, what causes are you seeing of people having needs, and what are your thoughts about maybe what's changed?
Sure. You know, the thing that I have said for a long time with the staff that I had at Families Inc. and now the staff here at CRDC, we are all one tragedy away from being on the other side of the equation. I think that's something really that not only the viewers need to remember, but we all need to remember, that we don't need to judge folks based on their current situations, because you don't know the hand that's been dealt there. And that's basically the way that we want to operate CRDC. We want to be a client-focused, client-centered, client-first approach to offer these services out and help, again, not necessarily give a handout to everyone, but a hand up and move those people from that situation.
Very nice and well said. Do you take donations from the public?
Absolutely.
How would someone donate to your cause and your nonprofit?
You can contact us, go to our website, CRDC, and you will see an option on there to give and contact. Rhonda Gillis, our CFO, would be an excellent contact there. We're located on Fox Meadow here in Jonesboro, so we can make sure that those donations, however they're given, if they have specific area restrictions, we can make sure that those get put into the appropriate fund.
Wonderful. He's Jeremy Wooldridge, and he is Executive Director of CRDC. And Jeremy, thank you for taking time to visit with us on Let's Talk Jonesboro.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.